What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that could make a real difference in your life. Imagine this: a sudden storm, a power outage, or even empty grocery shelves like we saw in recent years. Emergencies can hit when we least expect them. We spend so much time building our lives, but what happens when things get unpredictable? Being prepared isn't just for doomsday preppers, it's for everyone who wants peace of mind. In this video, I'll show you 20 foods that, if stored right, can last for decades, or even forever. These aren't just any foods, they're backed by science and history. Some of these foods have been found in ancient tombs, still edible after thousands of years. We'll break down the science of why they last, and share tips to keep your family safe and well-fed. Stick around for some surprising facts and practical advice you can use right now. Let's get into the ultimate survival pantry. Number 1. Honey. This golden liquid has been treasured for thousands of years, not just as a sweetener, but as a medicine and even a wound dressing. Archaeologists discovered honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that was still perfectly edible after over 3,000 years. Why does honey last so long? Its low moisture and high acidity make it nearly impossible for bacteria or mold to grow. Plus, honey contains natural hydrogen peroxide, which helps preserve it. For best results, store pure raw honey in airtight glass jars, away from heat and sunlight. If it crystallizes, don't worry. Just warm the jar gently in water to return it to liquid. Never microwave honey, as it can destroy nutrients. Avoid plastic containers, which can leach chemicals over time. Fun fact: honey has been used to treat coughs, burns, and even as a natural energy booster for athletes. Extra tip: use honey to soothe a sore throat, as a natural face mask, or to boost your immune system during cold season. For long-term storage, add a label with the purchase date and always use a clean, dry spoon to avoid contamination. Common mistakes with honey include buying blends mixed with corn syrup or storing it in humid places, which can cause fermentation. Only pure honey lasts forever. If your honey crystallizes, place the jar in warm, not hot water to gently dissolve the crystals. Never microwave, as it can destroy beneficial enzymes. Pro tip: use honey as a natural face mask or to soothe a sore throat. Always use a clean, dry spoon to avoid introducing moisture or contaminants. And remember, honey should never be given to infants under 1 year old due to the risk of botulism. Extra tip: if your honey gets cloudy, it's still safe. Just stir and use. For sticky jars, wipe the rim after each use to prevent buildup. Store honey away from strong-smelling foods, as it can absorb odors. Number 2. White rice. Unlike brown rice, which contains oils that spoil, white rice is polished and can last up to 30 years if kept dry and sealed. It's a staple for over half the world's population, providing energy and small amounts of protein. For long-term storage, use food-grade buckets with oxygen absorbers and keep rice in a cool, dark, dry place. Avoid thin plastic bags which pests can chew through. Fun fact: rice has been cultivated for over 10,000 years and was even used as currency in ancient Asia. Pro tip: label your containers with the date and rotate your stock to use the oldest first. White rice can also be ground into flour or used to make rice water for soothing skin. Extra tip: freeze rice for a few days before long-term storage to kill any insect eggs. Use rice as a natural dehumidifier in salt shakers or to dry out electronics. Common mistake: storing rice in thin bags. Use sealed buckets. For best results, keep rice in a cool, dark place. Don't forget to label your containers with the date. Fun fact: rice has been cultivated for over 10,000 years and is a symbol of prosperity in many cultures. Extra tip: add a bay leaf to your rice container to naturally deter pests. For quick meal prep, pre-portion rice into smaller bags for easy rotation. Number 3. Salt. Essential for life, salt has been used as currency, for food preservation, and even in religious rituals since ancient times. It never spoils because it's a mineral, not an organic substance. Salt draws out moisture, making it perfect for curing meats, preserving fish, and fermenting vegetables. Store in airtight containers to prevent clumping from humidity. For long-term storage, avoid iodized salt, as iodine can degrade and cause clumping. Fun fact: the word salary comes from the Latin for salt, because Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in salt. Pro tip: use salt to clean cast iron pans, deodorize cutting boards, or as a natural weed killer in the garden. Extra tip: place a few grains of rice in your salt shaker to keep it flowing. Use salt to remove wine stains or as a gentle scrub for cookware. Science: salt's ability to dehydrate bacteria is why it preserves food so well. Store away from moisture and never mix with spices for long-term storage. Pro tip: use salt to make homemade electrolyte solutions or to clean stubborn stains. Extra tip: salt can be used to clean coffee stains from mugs, freshen your fridge, or even as a natural ant deterrent. Number 4. Sugar. Like salt, sugar preserves by drawing out water from microbes, making jams, jellies, and candied fruits last for years. It's a quick source of energy and can boost morale in tough times. Store white or raw sugar in airtight containers, away from moisture and strong odors, as sugar easily absorbs smells. Brown sugar contains molasses and can harden, so keep it extra dry or add a terracotta disc to maintain softness. Fun fact: sugar was once so valuable it was called white gold and was traded like a luxury item. Pro tip: use sugar to make simple syrup, preserve fruit, or even as a gentle exfoliant in homemade scrubs. Extra tip: if brown sugar hardens, place a slice of apple or a damp paper towel in the container for a few hours to soften it. Use sugar to keep cut flowers fresh longer. Common mistake: letting sugar get damp. If it clumps, dry it out in a low oven. Sugar is also used in making jams and jellies, helping them last for years. Pro tip: add a slice of bread to brown sugar to keep it soft. Extra tip: store sugar in small containers to avoid exposing the whole batch to air and moisture. Use sugar as a quick hand scrub by mixing with olive oil. Number 5. Dried beans. Beans are protein and fiber powerhouses, used for millennia in every culture. They're filling, nutritious, and affordable. Store in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, then place in food-grade buckets. Avoid humid areas, which can cause mold. Rotate your stock every few years for best nutrition. Fun fact: archaeologists have sprouted beans found in ancient tombs. Pro tip: old beans may take longer to cook, just soak them longer. Beans can also be ground into flour or sprouted for fresh greens. Don't store beans with grains, as their moisture needs differ. Extra tip: add a bay leaf to your bean container to deter bugs. For quick meals, pre-soak beans and freeze them in portions. Fun fact: archaeologists have sprouted beans found in ancient tombs. For best nutrition, rotate your stock every few years. Don't store beans with grains, as moisture levels differ. Pro tip: sprout beans for extra vitamins and fresh greens. Extra tip: use beans to make homemade veggie burgers or blend into dips for added protein. Number 6. Pure maple syrup. Real maple syrup is made by boiling down sap from maple trees, and its high sugar content and low moisture make it shelf-stable for years. It's a source of minerals like manganese and zinc. Store unopened bottles in a cool, dark place and refrigerate after opening to prevent mold. Fun fact: it takes 40 gallons of sap to make just 1 gallon of syrup. Avoid metal containers, which can affect flavor. Pro tip: use maple syrup as a natural sweetener in baking, marinades, or even coffee. Only 100% pure maple syrup lasts for years. Avoid pancake syrup blends. Extra tip: if mold forms on opened syrup, skim it off and boil the syrup before using. Use maple syrup to glaze roasted vegetables or as a topping for yogurt. Fun fact: it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. Don't store in metal containers, which can affect flavor. Pro tip: drizzle maple syrup on roasted veggies for a sweet twist. Extra tip: for easy pouring, warm syrup slightly in a bowl of hot water. Store small amounts in squeeze bottles for less mess. Number 7. Soy sauce. This fermented condiment has been used in Asia for over 2,000 years. Its high salt content and fermentation make it self-preserving. Soy sauce adds umami flavor and small amounts of protein. Store unopened bottles in a cool, dark place. Refrigerate after opening for best flavor. Fun fact: soy sauce was invented in China over 2,000 years ago and is still made using traditional fermentation methods. Pro tip: use soy sauce to marinate meats, flavor rice, or add depth to soups. Always choose traditional full salt versions for longevity. Light or low sodium soy sauce spoils faster. Extra tip: transfer soy sauce to smaller bottles for daily use to avoid contaminating the main supply. Use a drop or two to revive bland leftovers. Common mistake: using light or low-sodium soy sauce for storage. These spoil faster. Always choose traditional, full-salt versions for longevity. Pro tip: add a splash to soups or stews for instant umami. Extra tip: if soy sauce develops a white film, it's just harmless yeast. Skim it off and use as normal. Store bottles upright to protect the seal. Number 8. Hard liquor. Spirits like vodka, whiskey, and rum last indefinitely due to their high alcohol content, which prevents spoilage. They're useful for drinking, disinfecting wounds, making herbal tinctures, and even as barter in emergencies. Store upright in glass bottles, away from sunlight and heat. Avoid creamy liqueurs, which spoil quickly. Fun fact: some unopened bottles of whiskey have been stored for over 100 years and are still drinkable. Pro tip: use spirits to make homemade extracts, clean surfaces, or start a fire in survival situations. Extra tip: use clear tape to seal bottle caps for extra protection. Spirits can also be used to sterilize tools or as a backup fuel for alcohol stoves. Fun fact: some unopened bottles of whiskey have been stored for over 100 years and are still drinkable. Never store bottles on their side, as alcohol can degrade the cork. Pro tip: spirits can be used for first aid and barter. Extra tip: use small bottles for emergency kits and label them for specific uses: drinking, cleaning, or fire starting. Number 9. Powdered milk. Non-fat powdered milk lasts the longest because fat can go rancid. It's a great source of protein and calcium, and can be used for drinking, baking, or making yogurt. Store in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, then in airtight containers. Avoid humid areas, which can cause clumping and spoilage. Fun fact: powdered milk was invented in the 19th century and fueled early Arctic expeditions. Pro tip: mix powdered milk with water for emergency baby formula or to extend fresh milk. Always check for off smells before use. Extra tip: use powdered milk to make homemade hot chocolate mix or as a creamer substitute. Store in small packets for easy rotation. Science: removing moisture prevents bacteria from growing. Fun fact: powdered milk was invented in the 19th century and helped explorers survive long journeys. Pro tip: use powdered milk in baking or as a protein boost in smoothies. Extra tip: if powdered milk clumps, blend it dry before mixing with water. Use airtight jars with silica gel packets for best shelf life. Number 10. Bouillon cubes. These tiny cubes are packed with salt and flavor, making them nearly immune to spoilage. They're perfect for adding taste to rice, beans, and soups, and can even be used to make a quick broth in emergencies. Store in a cool, dry place and keep them sealed to prevent moisture from getting in. Fun fact: Bouillon cubes were invented in 1908 to make nutritious broth affordable for everyone. Pro tip: use bouillon to flavor pasta water, make instant soup, or season vegetables. Don't let them get damp, they'll dissolve or clump. Extra tip: store cubes in small jars with silica gel packets for extra dryness. Crush cubes to make a quick seasoning powder for popcorn or snacks. Common mistake: letting bouillon cubes get damp. They'll dissolve or clump. Fun fact: bouillon cubes were invented in the early 1900s to make nutritious broth affordable for everyone. Pro tip: keep bouillon cubes in a sealed jar with a silica gel packet for extra protection. Extra tip: use bouillon cubes to make a quick marinade or to add flavor to rice while cooking. For camping, pre-crush cubes and store in a zip bag for easy use. Number 11. White vinegar. This pantry staple is more than just a cooking ingredient. Thanks to its high acidity, vinegar is a natural disinfectant, stain remover, and even a remedy for minor skin irritations. Its chemistry means it won't spoil for decades, making it a must-have for both kitchens and cleaning cabinets worldwide. Fun fact: vinegar was used by ancient Babylonians over 5,000 years ago for food preservation and medicine. Pro tip: use vinegar to descale kettles, clean coffee makers, and even freshen laundry. For a quick fruit and veggie wash, mix 1 part vinegar with 3 parts water. For best storage, keep vinegar tightly sealed in glass bottles, away from direct sunlight. Don't worry if you see sediment or the mother in apple cider vinegar. It's harmless and even prized for its probiotic benefits. In emergencies, vinegar can disinfect surfaces, preserve produce, and even soothe bug bites. Just strain it if you prefer a clear liquid. Bonus tip: Add a splash of vinegar to your dishwater to cut grease and leave glasses sparkling. Use vinegar for pickling vegetables, making salad dressings, cleaning glass, or soothing bug bites. In emergencies, it can help disinfect surfaces or preserve produce. Some cultures even use it in traditional remedies and recipes. Quick fix: if your vinegar bottle gets stuck, run the cap under hot water to loosen it. And remember, vinegar can neutralize strong odors in your kitchen or fridge. Common mistake: storing vinegar in metal containers, which can corrode and affect flavor. Always use glass or food-grade plastic. And remember, vinegar's acidity keeps it shelf-stable for years. No need to refrigerate. Extra tip: label your bottles with the purchase date to track freshness, and keep a small spray bottle of diluted vinegar handy for quick cleanups. If you see cloudy sediment or the mother in apple cider vinegar, don't worry. It's harmless and even prized in some cultures for its probiotic benefits. Just strain it if you prefer a clear liquid. For extra shelf life, store vinegar in a cool, dark cabinet and keep the cap tightly closed after each use. Number 12. Cornstarch. This pure carbohydrate is a thickening powerhouse for sauces, gravies, and desserts. Kept dry, it can last indefinitely. Cornstarch is also used in baking, soothing skin rashes, and even making DIY glue. Its secret? Cornstarch is almost pure starch with no fats or proteins to spoil. Pro tip: store with a silica gel packet to absorb moisture, and use cornstarch to untangle stubborn knots in shoelaces or necklaces. Store cornstarch in an airtight container to prevent clumping from humidity. In a pinch, mix it with water to soothe sunburn or bug bites, or use it to freshen shoes and carpets. Fun fact: cornstarch was first produced in the 19th century and quickly became a kitchen staple. If your cornstarch gets lumpy, sift it before use for best results. Store cornstarch in an airtight container to prevent clumping. In a pinch, mix it with water to soothe sunburn or bug bites, or use it to freshen shoes and carpets. Bonus: sprinkle cornstarch on greasy stains before washing to help lift them out. Number 13. Instant coffee. Beyond a caffeine boost, it's a morale lifter in tough times. Freeze-dried coffee crystals can last for decades if kept dry and sealed. The freeze-drying process removes almost all moisture, which is why instant coffee resists spoilage. Pro tip: store single-serve packets for grab-and-go convenience, and use instant coffee as a rub for meats or in chocolate desserts for extra flavor. Store instant coffee in a cool, dry place, sealed tightly to keep out moisture. Avoid storing it near strong-smelling foods, as coffee can absorb odors. In some cultures, sharing coffee is a ritual that brings people together, even in emergencies. If your coffee clumps, break it up and use it in baking, or as a natural deodorizer for your fridge. Coffee isn't just for drinking. Use it in baking, desserts, or even as a natural deodorizer for your fridge. In some cultures, sharing coffee is a ritual that brings people together. For a quick pick-me-up, add instant coffee to smoothies or oatmeal. Number 14. Pure vanilla extract. The alcohol in real vanilla extract preserves it for years, and it actually improves with age, like fine wine. Use it to flavor baked goods, oatmeal, or even coffee. Fun fact: vanilla was first cultivated by the Totonac people of Mexico, and real extract is prized worldwide. Pro tip: add a splash to pancake batter or homemade whipped cream for a gourmet touch. Store vanilla extract in a cool, dark place, tightly sealed. Avoid imitation extracts. They lose flavor over time and don't last as long. Real vanilla is used in French pastries, Mexican hot chocolate, and more. Pro tip: if your extract gets cloudy, it's still safe to use. For extra shelf life, keep the bottle tightly capped and away from heat. Avoid imitation extracts. They lose flavor over time. Real vanilla is prized in cuisines worldwide, from French pastries to Mexican hot chocolate. If you run out, try making your own by soaking vanilla beans in vodka for several weeks. Number 15. Ghee. This clarified butter is a staple in Indian, Middle Eastern, and African cuisines. By removing water and milk solids, ghee becomes shelf-stable and develops a rich, nutty flavor. Ghee has been used for thousands of years, both in cooking and in traditional medicine. Pro tip: use ghee for high-heat cooking or spread it on toast for a rich, buttery snack. Store ghee in a sealed jar, away from heat and light. Always use a clean spoon to avoid introducing moisture or bacteria. Ghee's high smoke point makes it perfect for frying and baking, and it's even used in Ayurvedic medicine and religious ceremonies. If ghee solidifies, gently warm the jar in hot water to liquefy. Ghee's high smoke point makes it perfect for frying and baking. It's also used in Ayurvedic medicine and religious ceremonies. Store it sealed and use a clean spoon to keep it fresh. For longer shelf life, keep ghee in a dark cupboard and avoid double dipping. Number 16. Lentils. These protein-packed legumes are quick to cook and last for decades if kept dry. Lentils are a staple in Indian dal, Middle Eastern mujadara, and many global dishes. Archaeologists have even found lentils in ancient Egyptian tombs. Pro tip: store lentils in small batches to avoid spoilage and rinse before cooking to remove dust. Store lentils in airtight containers, away from moisture and pests. Rotate your stock every few years for best nutrition. Lentils cook quickly, saving fuel, and are rich in iron and fiber. Pro tip: don't store lentils with grains, as their moisture needs differ. If you find bugs, freeze lentils for 48 hours to kill pests before storing. Lentils save fuel because they cook quickly. Use them in soups, salads, or with rice for a complete protein. They're also rich in iron and fiber, supporting long-term health. For extra flavor, toast lentils in a dry pan before cooking. Number 17. Dried pasta. Made from just flour and water, dried pasta is a comfort food that stores for years. Its low moisture content is the secret to its long shelf life. Pasta has been a staple since ancient Rome. Pro tip: store pasta in original packaging inside airtight containers for double protection. Store pasta in airtight jars or mylar bags to keep out pests and moisture. Avoid storing near strong odors as pasta can absorb them. Pair it with canned sauce, olive oil, or bouillon for endless meal options. Rotate your stock for best quality. If pasta breaks, use it in soups or casseroles. Pasta is a morale booster. Familiar, easy to cook, and loved worldwide. Try it in soups, casseroles, or cold salads for variety. For quick meals, pre-portion pasta into meal-size bags. Number 18. Baking soda. This mineral is a cleaning MVP, deodorizer, and leavening agent. It's used in baking, brushing teeth, and even putting out small grease fires. Baking soda's alkaline nature neutralizes acids and odors, making it incredibly versatile. Pro tip: keep a box in your fridge to absorb odors, and use it to clean sinks or unclog drains. Store baking soda in an airtight container to prevent it from absorbing moisture and odors. Over time, it may lose some leavening power, but it's still great for cleaning and deodorizing. Test old baking soda with vinegar. If it fizzes, it's still active. For extra shelf life, keep baking soda in a cool, dry spot and away from strong-smelling items. Baking soda may lose some leavening power after many years, but it's still great for cleaning, deodorizing shoes, or soothing insect stings. Store it airtight for best results. If it clumps, break it up and use for cleaning instead of baking. Number 19. Hardtack. This ancient survival biscuit is just flour, water, and salt, baked until rock hard. Hardtack was a staple for sailors and soldiers for centuries, including during the American Civil War. Its legendary shelf life comes from its extreme dryness. Pro tip: store hardtack with a silica gel packet to keep it extra dry and wrap in wax paper before sealing. Store hardtack in airtight containers to keep out moisture and pests. To eat, soak it in soup or tea, or crumble it into stews. It's not gourmet, but it's a reliable calorie source in emergencies and a piece of culinary history. If it gets too hard, break it up with a rolling pin before soaking. To eat hardtack, soak it in soup or tea, or crumble it into stews. It's not gourmet, but it's a reliable calorie source in emergencies and a piece of culinary history. For a sweet treat, spread with honey or jam after softening. And finally, number 20. Pemmican. The original energy bar, invented by indigenous peoples of North America. It's made from dried meat, rendered fat, and sometimes berries. Pemmican can last for decades if made and stored properly, thanks to its lack of moisture and protective fat seal. Pro tip: make small batches and vacuum seal for best results. Add dried berries for extra flavor and nutrients. Store pemmican in airtight containers, away from heat and light. It fueled explorers, hunters, and warriors for centuries. Try making your own for a taste of history and survival science. Fun fact: properly made pemmican has been found edible after more than 50 years. If you notice any off smell or mold, discard immediately. Pemmican is compact, high-calorie, and can last for decades if made properly. It fueled explorers, hunters, and warriors. Try making your own for a taste of history and survival science. For a quick snack, slice thin and eat as is, or crumble into hot cereal for a protein boost. That's a wrap. We've covered 20 foods you can stockpile for the long haul, each chosen for their incredible shelf life and reliability in emergencies. But before you go, let's make sure you're set up for success with some pro prepping tips. Remember, it's not just what you store, it's how you store it. Always use airtight containers, mylar bags, and oxygen absorbers. Label everything with the date and contents. Store food in a cool, dark, dry place, and keep a simple inventory list on your fridge or phone. Use clear bins or baskets to group similar items together. This makes it easy to find what you need and spot when you're running low. Rotate your stock regularly. Use the oldest items first and check expiration dates so nothing goes to waste. Try the first in, first out method. Put new items at the back and move older ones to the front. Set a monthly reminder to check your pantry and update your inventory. If you spot any damaged packaging, use it up soon or repackage it to prevent spoilage. Start small. Pick a few essentials and build your supply over time. Use stackable bins or shelf risers to maximize space, and keep a grab-and-go box with ready-to-eat foods for emergencies. If you're short on space, stash supplies under beds or in closets. Even a little prepping can make a big difference. Prepping isn't about fear. It's about being ready and caring for your loved ones. Share your favorite storage hacks or long-lasting foods in the comments below. Got a creative tip or a question? Let's help each other out and build a smarter, safer community. If you found this helpful, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more practical prepping tips. And don't forget, every step you take makes your home a little safer. Stay safe, stay prepared, and happy prepping.